This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of their affiliated organizations.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Heather.
And this is Ready to Connect. So on today's episode, we're going to be answering your questions that you submitted to us. But before we get started with that, how was everyone's week? Did you do anything fun, anything exciting, or did you just relax? So who wants to go first?
I was in relax mode this weekend. We binged on Netflix House of Guinness and then rocked out to the score to it, which is fantastic. Definitely like the storyline with the embellishments. If you have a chance to sit down and binge House of Guinness and you like the Irish scene and folklore, definitely worth it. Yeah. Nothing major. Halloween was kind of a bust. It was windy and didn't really get to do what we wanted to do, so just kind of hung out.
Yeah, what you wanted to do, I wanted a video of.
I know.
Heather was supposed to run around her neighborhood in a blow-up T-Rex costume.
With my neighbor.
I really...
with glow sticks.
I really wanted to see
because
that.
they're not my costumes. They're her costumes. And it was quite hilarious. We were trying to load up these costumes and the fans blowing and blowing up the costume, but it was so windy out that... it felt like someone was putting a plastic bag over your head and smothering you because the wind was blowing the costume back into your face. And, like, it was not pretty. It was not.
I so wanted a video of
it
that,
would have
though.
been so much fun though to run around the neighborhood in the dark with glow sticks and in a T-Rex costume.
I think our Ready to Connect people would love to have seen that on our social media. It's just
Absolutely.
like what we do in our spare time.
Right? Act like idiots.
Yeah.
Maybe you could take a video or a photo or something and...
Yeah, I'll have to
just
rope
for the
her.
fun of it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rope her into getting all dressed up and running around with me.
Why not?
But, yeah, it's very dark where we live. So, like, there's no street lamps. So we could just, and there's no kids in our neighborhood anymore. They have all grown. They've all moved out. I think the last round of children was, like, my daughter and, her, all her friends in the neighborhood. And then there was a couple kids here and there, but most of them were so young that they didn't interact with like Marcello's peer group because they were too little at the point, and now they're too old to trick or treat. But we'll have to do that. We'll have to work on Heather running around Coventry neighborhood with a T-Rex costume.
I so want to see it. Just so want to see it.
Just fun. Try to have fun.
Yeah.
As I age, I realize the importance of laughter, and even if it's silly and not to the social norm, who cares?
Right.
It was
Agree.
just innocent fun, and I think sometimes we get lost in our society of just not having innocent fun.
I think that's why I like being a grandmother. I can have all my innocent fun.
Sure.
The amount of different noises I make for Cole and faces and just weird songs I make up for him is just so much fun. But, yeah. This weekend, on Saturday, Halloween, just when as Halloween does, a few kids come by, pass out some candy, and you're left with a huge bowl to eat yourself. So, no different there. But Saturday, I was able to go out with another person from the Art for Healing program from Hartford Hospital to represent our program and work with the nurses from oncology. It was a oncology nurses symposium, I think. It was out in Bristol, and it was really lovely to be among such caregivers and people who really, do so much for cancer patients and their families. So that was really cool to do. We brought some watercoloring to do with them, and it was a lot of fun. Did that part of Saturday, and Sunday we had our neighborhood book club meeting, which, I jive with. I had a good time and got treated really well by my husband. Not only did he make our dinners, he served me breakfast in bed on Sunday.
Nice.
So treated really well.
Jealous.
I know. He's a really good guy. He puts up with a lot. So I'm grateful for all of that. But that was my weekend. What about you, Ryan?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Well, something interesting that happened over the course of last week into this past weekend is So my roommate's dog, Watson, I've talked about him numerous times on this podcast now.
He's our mascot.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'll have to get a picture of him.
Yes.
He'll just be smiling. But anyway, so he, over the course of the past year, he's become a bit reactive. And so we decided to do like a training course online, working with reactive dogs, and we've been doing this for a while, and it's just kind of like, is it working? I don't know. But whenever I looked at him, I kept getting the number 8. And so I was like, okay, that's kind of bizarre. So I looked up like number 8, angel number. That's when I learned the angel numbers don't have to be like 3 numbers. They can be 1 number as well.
True.
And so, so that was a learning experience for me. But then, I realized that the number 8 by itself means like don't give up, keep going. You're on the right path.
And if you spin the 8 on sideways, it makes an infinity symbol.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. And so then I was like, you know what? Let's keep going with this training. So we bring him to this store every Saturday. It's a store called The Proper Pet in Tolland, and
I love that place.
they're fantastic, and the owner there is incredible. And so we bring him there every day just because it's a calm environment. We want to introduce him to different environments and to have like different animals in the area too, and make sure that he's okay. And I was walking with him around the store, and all of a sudden this other dog like came around the corner just as Watson was coming around the corner, and they basically like collided. And at first I was like, oh geez, like what's gonna happen? Is he gonna lunge? Is he gonna bark? Is he gonna freak out? But no, instead they just sniffed each other. And then Watson decided he had enough and turned around and walked away by himself.
That's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Good
a
job,
huge breakthrough
Watson.
for Watson.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So we were just so amazed, and I was like, okay, I'm glad we kept going. We
Yeah.
didn't give up.
There's your sign.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like, it couldn't be
100%.
any more of a sign that you're doing the right thing for Watson.
Yeah. And even seeing the other dogs, they have like a bathing station there. He's petrified of water. And so seeing the other dogs there, now he's not barking at them. He's just watching them getting a bath. So,
Acceptance.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for, I can wait because I don't like the big S word. I don't like snow, but
Oh,
I can't wait to see what Watson does with snow
oh yes.
because everything's changed for him. So, like,
Correct.
snow's going to be a whole new experience.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to have fun with that.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll have the time of his life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of animals, we actually received a question from one of our listeners. And the question is connecting with deceased animals different than connecting with deceased humans? And that kind of, I say no. I say everything has a spirit, everything has Atma, which is the personality, right? And whether it's Watson showing us, how guided he can be, where, and humans are, it all cross ties. How do you feel? I don't feel there's a difference between connecting with animals, whether they're deceased or alive, or humans that are deceased or alive. I feel it's just the kind of the way you can act. Do you have that experience too?
I agree. Yeah. When it comes to, I guess when it comes to like deceased animals or humans, it's kind of like I see them, in dreams perhaps. So I feel like that's the same. It doesn't matter whether it's an animal or a human. I see them in a dream or they're giving me messages. And then when it comes to alive animals or humans, once again, I have the claircognizant of the message.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Like I hear it.
I don't have really any differences between animal or human if they're deceased. With my gifts of the clairsentience and the claircognizant, I'm going to get their emotions, and animals definitely have emotions, and it comes through whether they're happy or sad or feel lonely, or most of them are just super happy, to be honest, to be recognized, and they come through with a lot of love and gratitude for their owners that are there. But and I mean, the same kind of connection happens with humans that are deceased, their emotions, and then also their thoughts. I will say, though, connecting with a live animal for me is a little bit different than that soul spirit connection with a live human. because I feel like living animals, if they're connecting to me, they do it just in pictures. And I see pictures and then I have to interpret them. But then again, that's not a muscle I flex a lot as far as, the live animal communication is usually your domain, Heather, not necessarily mine. But when I have done it, it's always been I get pictures, and then to communicate back, I seem to need to do it in picture thought for them to have a kind of understanding. So that's a little different for me. I don't know if that makes a difference if it's live. I know the question was about deceased, but that's the only difference I can see.
Yeah, for me, everything has a spirit. So whether it's deceased or alive, for me, live energies feels a little zippy in my body, like almost like in a little electrical charge that kind of zips through. Or my tummy gets that like fluttering, and it's fast. The messages are faster when they're alive for me, but everything has a spirit. Everything, if you ask for the highest good and you bring that energy in, whether it's alive or deceased, you're going to get beautiful answers, because the soul always wants to speak. Well, not always, but most of the time the soul wants to speak. And if people out there are listening, the Rainbow Bridge is real. A lot of times when I do connect with a deceased animal, it's like you do cross over this bright, beautiful, colored energy field, and you get dropped into like their oasis of like what they want to show you, like what their life looks like. But humans do the same thing. It's just different. When you're speaking with a dog, you're in a field and they're showing you all their balls and all their toys and how excited they are to roll around in the grass, where, most humans aren't doing that. Although, I don't throw anything out there, right?
You never know.
You never know.
Never say never.
Yeah. So, I don't think I don't think it needs to be different, deceased or alive. Just connect and listen or feel or hear or see, whatever, taste, smell. Use your intuition for sure.
What other questions do we have?
Let's see. How do I identify which chakra is out of balance?
So
this is a good question.
It's a good question, but I think it's important for our listeners to know what a chakra is. Because that might be a new word for some people listening, but chakras are considered energy processing centers within the body. Energy healers like ourselves work with the chakras in taking that energy that's being processed and sending it through the body. And also, if any of these chakras are shut down or in excess, you can feel out of balance. So just knowing what energy is being processed in each of those centers can help you identify maybe what's out of balance in your body. I mean, you had some thoughts around that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, like, with the throat chakra, if you're having a hard time communicating, maybe literally voicing what you want to say, or like we were talking earlier, like as a songwriter, if I'm having trouble with, singing, coming up with a melody, things like that, it could be related. My question, though, is, related to this. Could it be something like physical as well? Is that how someone can identify if they're, like, let's say you have a sore throat? Like, could that be related to the throat chakra?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, all of our chakras, as a Reiki practitioner, to get that emotional and that mind-body connection, all our chakras are expressed on certain endocrine glands within our body. And when you have an out-of-balance situation in any of those chakras, you're going to get some sort of physical manifestation of that. Okay. And it might start as just a ache, a pain.
You might feel like you have the flu and you don't have the flu.
Yeah.
Right.
It might be just something mild that you're noticing. And then if you don't address it, it'll get worse, right? So if you're having issues, I mean, each one of our chakras, let's just take the first one, the root chakra, is expressed on the adrenal glands, which fires off our stress hormones. If you're having any
fight or flight.
Yeah, if you're having any situation in your life that's happening that's going to create some sort of stress response, usually it's about keeping yourself alive and healthy. So our root chakra is concerned with our health, our safety, our livelihood, how we make our money, our home, our foundation, our food. So if any of those things are an
Out of
issue
balance.
for you, if you're all of a sudden homeless, when I had the foundation problem in my house, right? Literally rocking my house, you
Yeah.
know, there was some root issues going on. It's going to, take care of it. So if you're feeling like you're unsafe, not healthy, that would be a root chakra issue. So I think for us, in just understanding the different chakras and the type of energy they produce, if you know that, then you can maybe identify what is out of balance. But you can definitely look to physical cues for that. If you're having digestive issues, it's probably going to be your solar plexus, which is related to your pancreas and your digestive system. You see what I mean? But just the basic knowledge of that is sort of kind of what's needed.
I mean, the root chakra out of balance can produce mass amount of anxiety. So if you're walking into a situation and the anxiety is so high, maybe you need to reassess how you handle walking into whatever situation you are, or sit back and think about what's giving you the anxiety, because fear is what drives anxiety, because you
True.
don't understand something in a scenario. And I think it's important to identify that, because so many people walk around saying, I have anxiety. Well, why do you have anxiety? Is it because your life is out of balance? Are you feeling flight or fight? Do you need to flee? Do you need to take a look at like what life is throwing at you right now and reassess it? So that'll totally throw out the root chakra, which can bring leg issues. You're not bending. Like the knees are all about not being stubborn. And Reiki, are we bending? Are we moving? Our ankles are about rolling us forward, right? Moving us forward. So if we're having some leg issues and you go to a medical doctor and a doctor says, I don't know what's going on with you, you might want to spiritually connect to your root chakra, maybe use Sophiglio, Hertz tones in the root chakra area to just power yourself up, or wear the color red. There's different ways to kind of handle each center of the body. And for you, when you need to be creative, you need to pull out that, that plexus. You need to really kind of pull out and let yourself flow. And our sacral plexus, which is right below the belly button, is where we get our power from. It's our true creative power. And when somebody tells you you're wrong, or they keep telling you that you're not smart enough, or that's going to shut that down. Or if you're getting frustrated with yourself because you can't produce something, then that could also trigger your root chakra too. So like, it's a complex system, but it's very simple if you just pay attention to your physical body, and then your mental body and your emotional body, and then let your soul spirit guide you. You can find ways around it. And music is one of the easiest ways to balance yourself. Throw on your favorite song and it should put you in a great mood, because that rhythm is what gets you going. Like when you sing, Ryan, you're uplifted, you're in it, your whole body is working with your mind, body, and soul. So like, but if you're struggling, you're going to feel that power. And that's when maybe the session isn't successful. Right? Or you stumble a little bit. Okay.
As far,
I mean, I'm asking you as a singer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
as far as identifying the chakras out of balance, I would tell this person, pay attention to your body. If you're having some sort of physical discomfort or emotional distress or mental distress, you could probably, in today's world, Google which chakra is related to stomach
Absolutely.
discomfort,
Yeah.
which chakra is related to relationship anxiety, and it'll probably pop that out for you. But there's some other ways to divine that, right?
Right.
You've done that before.
Yeah, by using a pendulum. We did that in one of the classes. And we had a chart with I believe it was the different colors, was it, for the chakras?
For each chakra, yeah.
And just utilizing a pendulum to see which one to work on.
Yeah.
To
and
ask which of my chakras needs the most attention
most attention for today.
for today.
Oh, there
Because
you
we're
go,
never
yes.
perfect,
Yes.
right? We're never
Right.
in balance. It's just not possible. Maybe after you come out of a massage or a Reiki session or acupuncture session and so on, you're probably balanced until reality sets back in, and
Oh,
then
yes.
it just all goes back into a flutter. So
Yeah.
There's a lot of great books out there that talk about chakras and give some knowledge around it. You can definitely take classes on chakras and healing and things like that for this person. You know, we can maybe pop in our social media a couple covers of chakra books that might be interesting for people to investigate. But yeah, so hopefully that's helpful for this person. What else we got?
Oh, so we have how do I set a protection around me and cleanse my home, which is filled with negativity from news and people in the home?
well,
do
for
you do?
me,
Yeah,
for
what do you
me, protection is huge.
Mhm.
I think I rely on all faiths out there to add protection. I blow cinnamon out my door the first of the month. I do saging. I do Palo Santo. It depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes sage can be a heavy smoke with a lot of oil in it, so it kind of bothers my lungs. So if you're doing a small space, sometimes that's just too overwhelming. So I like to use Palo Santo or maybe a really good incense that'll clear the energy. Making sure that the door is open or the windows are open so that the energy can go into the ethers and clean the area. I've done Catholic penance where you put different, like Saint Anthony. I have a Saint Anthony coin buried outside my home. I'm not Catholic, but I believe that all religions are trying to get to the same place, so I lean on different things. I do smudging outside of my home, inside my home, and prayer. Prayer is huge. If you're protecting your home in a white light, you can invite the highest good there too. So there's a lot of ways to put a protection around you,
Mhm.
a bubble around you, but also your home, your car.
Mhm.
I think you were telling me earlier. Yes, you
yes.
do a white light protection around you in the
Yes.
car.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Tell me about
Tell
that.
us about
yeah.
your car experiences, Ryan.
I don't know if we have time for all of that. But too many over the years. Yeah, so every day, when I'm leaving the home or coming back, actually every morning, I always ask spirit guides to, protect me with white light and only provide messages for the higher good. In terms of the car, I ask to put a bubble around the car to protect it, as well as myself, and then I say so that everything thrown at me bounces back. If it's
Harming
not,
none.
yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And so regarding the car, I mean, it's worked wonders ever since putting a bubble around the car. I mean, haven't gotten into a car accident,
Yay.
but I think maybe I'm paying attention more too. But I've been
Well,
in too
you
many.
do have a fancy new car. So.
Yeah. I've been in too many car accidents. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Chris
Yes.
is knocking on wood. Thank you. It's appreciated.
For all of us.
Yes, he probably knew I was thinking about doing that. But yes, thanks, Chris. You read my mind. But thankfully, none of them were my fault.
So as you
that's
can
good.
see from this question, it's not just your home. You can
No,
protect
it's
everything.
Absolutely.
Yourself,
Yes,
your
yes.
material items, your everything can be protected through prayer, and it doesn't have to be a religious prayer.
True.
Just throw it up there, right? It doesn't have to be religious at all. I think there's a misconception that prayers have to be religious. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're speaking your highest intention, you're putting that protection around you in your home. And then you use smoke, or you can also use, for people who can't use smoke, we've done this in the past, where you can buy a spray. You can buy sage spray or Palo
Okay.
Santo spray.
Nice.
Like if you were to go into a place where you can't set anything, like at school or a convalescent home or assisted facility, or even if you're in your office building, you can't do smoke because it'll set all the alarms off. So
That's true.
they make sprays where you can waft the spray through the air with a prayer. And that's a great way to cleanse it too. And it makes it smell good because it's a spray.
Yeah.
Depends on the spray.
It does, yeah.
We have a
We've used
spray
a couple
that-
sprays and you're like,
it's just like I can't deal with
Oh,
it.
really?
Can't deal with it. For me, in our healing room, in the room that we do a lot of work, that gets cleansed multiple times in a day. I use a lot of Reiki energy in my house to cleanse it and clear it and to keep it uplifted. And I find that has done a lot for raising that vibration. I also have a lot of stones that have uplifting energy and vibration around my house.
That's a good idea. Too.
That have been infused with Reiki energy and intention. And that's around my house. So that maybe this person who's dealing with negativity from news and people in the home, maybe that's something that they can do. If they're not Reiki trained, then just put prayer into those stones and ask for certain intentions. That could work too. Go with stones that are, higher in vibration. And I mean, anything, even rose quartz is a great stone for compassionate and kindness type of energy in the house. That, you couple that with a clear quartz and you've just now amplified that energy for yourself. You can put even grounding stones can help. It depends on where that negativity is coming from, the people in the house. I mean, if it's negativity from news and you have the ability to turn the TV off, then I would just do that. But if sometimes we're not the ones that are doing that, and I happen to have, people that I know whose partner will watch news, 24/7, and it can be,
daunting.
it can be a lot.
heavy.
It can be a lot. So I would often, just say whatever you can do for your own self, just put that protection around you. I myself, like you, Ryan and Heather, I surround myself every morning with that shield of white light and intention and prayer. And if I'm feeling like I've been impacted in some way, I might do it more than once.
I even stir in my coffee a prayer in the morning when I come down and I do my morning thing and then I'm ready for coffee. I have a prayer that I stir into my coffee, and by the power of 3, right? So it'll be. So like there's all little things you can do to uplift that energy. And it doesn't have to be big giant rocks. It could be just a simple stone that has it and you place it in your room. I do warn though, if you're having some energy in the bedroom, you wouldn't want to put quartz into your bedroom.
No, that would keep you awake in there.
Keep you awake
because
quartz
dreaming would be kind of like pretty
wonky.
intense.
Yeah.
I would say though, this is in a home, so it's not a building or an office building. I would say if it doesn't trigger migraines, because sometimes scented candles can do that, get a sage citrus candle.
Yep.
Because it won't be that heavy sage smell because it's got the citrus part of it, but that could do a lot. If you're burning a sage citrus candle, that does a lot for intention to help release that negativity.
I love going up to Kringle Candle, or
yeah.
Yankee
Your
Candle
favorite?
and getting the sage and citrus candle, because she's absolutely right. Lisa's absolutely right. Just burning a candle, the smoke is taking.
Or even a lot of people, instead of burning candles, do diffusers. You can get essential oils and mix them up, but put a sage in there. Or you could even get Palo Santo oil.
You can.
So,
and it smells quite lovely if you get like the real Palo Santo, not like gas station Palo Santo.
All right, hopefully that helps that person. What else we got?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, this is a fun one. All right, speaking of cars, what do you think about Tesla's picking up on ghosts?
I thought this was hilarious. I saw this question come in, and I said, "What the heck is going on with this?"
Yeah.
And
I can't believe we're even looking this up.
I know.
This is cool.
Yeah. So I had, and I think at the same time we were texting, you said, "I'm Googling this." And I said, "I am too."
Yes.
Googling this. Apparently, there are Tesla cars that have the cameras that show the route that you're taking. It's an actual camera, right, for your car, the road that you're traveling. And these cameras are picking up, and the cameras are relaying shapes of people, like they're walking people that are, as you drive through a cemetery, they're picking up people. So people thinking there's nobody around this gravestone, but yet it's showing a person.
Right.
So I believe it's part of the technology of the Tesla that it sees the gravestone as a potential person that you don't want to run into. So it shows the outline of a person. I don't know. I don't think it's picking. I can't say for sure, but I would err on the scientific part that these cameras are just relaying that information incorrectly. It's not a person. It's the gravestone that you're seeing, because just in our Heather and mine's experience, graveyards don't necessarily contain a lot of dead, deceased souls.
It has energy. All cemeteries have a specific energy, but generally cemeteries
don't have spirits walking
around.
So.
Unless you're in Gettysburg walking around the old
yeah.
fields, right? Or
absolutely,
some
But that's
other
not really a
historical.
cemetery.
It's
That's
not
a
a cemetery,
yeah.
right? But
Right.
there are areas in the world that are supercharged from
That would be
war.
interesting. Someone take your Tesla, go to
Gettysburg.
the Gettysburg battlefield.
Take some pictures for us, please.
You know, point your cars if you're going to drive through the battlefield. See if you could see on your camera.
So calling all
Oh.
people who live near Gettysburg.
Let us know.
Let us know. I don't want to totally discredit that Teslas might be picking up ghosts, because our phones can pick up entities on the camera.
That's true.
Right. I've had EVP show up on recordings, and so I don't totally want to denote that, but
And weren't
I'm
we
thinking-
told by Chris about Tesla?
yeah. What about Tesla?
Something about a ghost.
Never heard of the Tesla Ghost Radio?
Tesla Ghost
Ghost radio.
Yeah, he invented a radio that can pick up
Oh, that's right.
normally undetected electromagnetic frequencies. And it sounds like voices and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Wow.
Never seen it. I would suggest you look it up on YouTube.
Is it? Do you feel maybe it's accurate?
I feel like Tesla abandoned it.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so there you go.
but
So
not
there you go.
because it didn't work.
Okay.
It did something. He just didn't know what it did.
Right.
Right. Well, thank you.
And what did you find, Ryan, as you were kind of searching through the Google searches of Tesla?
And similar to what Lisa said, that it was the camera was picking up like the stones
Infracted.
and, and just it didn't recognize what it was, so it just thought, oh, maybe this is a human. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to denote it because
Right,
I've
right.
had pictures show up where like you can zoom in and see there's a spirit there, so it is a
Yeah.
camera.
right.
But
Yeah,
I
but
think that's a 50-50 kind of question.
some of these, if you Google some of these YouTube things that people are show like multiple people walking all through the graveyard. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. You
I
know
don't know.
what? If you are truly having a visceral experience, if you're in your car and your screen is showing you a person and you're having a visceral experience with it, then it could very well be an energy, a ghost, whatever you want to call it,
Sure.
interacting with you. I mean, there's many different types of ghosts out there, many different styles of spirit, and every culture has their own definition too. So I don't know if you buy into it 100%.
I mean,
Maybe do your homework.
I've been on haunted walks that take you through graveyards, and yeah, my camera can pick up orbs and things like that. Sure.
but
I'm not
for all
gonna
we
say
know, a
there's-
raccoon died there.
Yeah. There we go. It's an orb of a
True.
raccoon.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it pick up on deceased animals running through the graveyard?
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. I
Makes you
mean,
think.
unfortunately, squirrels and raccoons and possums and skunks get squished all the time. And is the Tesla picking up the ghost of the animal on the road?
As you're driving down a road.
That's a question that we're
You think
mirroring
about how many
back.
animals have been killed on just plain old roads
Right.
as your Tesla's driving through. Do you see, like, I don't know.
So anybody with a Tesla in the Connecticut area, in Glastonbury on Hopewell Street, there is a woman who she's deceased. She died on her wedding day, and this was back in the 1800s. And if you were to go down Hopewell Street in Glastonbury, right by the school, you may catch her spirit walking across the road. And I'd be interested with anybody with a Tesla who goes down Hopewell and can send us some imagery.
Yeah, if you catch that, please
Because
reach
that's
out.
an actual acknowledgement. Like, we know someone died on that street, and it was tragic. And so if your Tesla picks up that imagery, then we would definitely be on board with that Tesla's picking up ghosts.
Yeah.
What
Do you
else?
know of any haunted areas that you could direct people to?
No, not off the top of my
There's-
head.
Jeannie
but-
Mills in
There's-
Manchester.
I know that I've seen on multiple occasions apparitions, ghosts, I guess, on Dunn Road in
Oh, yes.
Coventry.
Yes.
Going down
Yeah.
that way, it's getting close to where Dunn Road meets up with North School
Okay.
Street.
Yep.
So if you coming down North School and you turn onto Dunn Road or the other way, and you have a Tesla and you pick up energy, it's usually on the side where the fields are.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also by Creaser Park in Coventry, there's a little girl. She's wearing a pretty little dress and she plays with a red ball and she runs back and forth from Creaser Park over to the cow fields. I can't off the top of my head think of what that road is, but if you know where Creaser Park, if you find Creaser Park, it's a dog park. It's a dog walking park. But there's a little girl, and my daughter and I have actually had a real life experience with that. And so if you're a Tesla driving car, please send me imagery because I'd love the affirmation again that she's still there.
Right.
But yeah, I actually pulled over because she looked so real to me. And of course, Marcella knew Mom's doing her thing. So she just kind of sat there patiently, waiting for Mom to come to her senses. But she looked so real and she was playing with the ball. And so I pulled over to wait for this little girl to get out of the road. And this car went flying by me at like 60 miles an hour down the hill. And when the car went flying by me is immediately when I realized she was a ghost. She wasn't actually
Wow.
real, but there was a real energy that was, of course, the other car didn't see it.
Yeah, so this concludes part 1 of the questions and answers. We appreciate all the questions that have been asked, and we have a lot more to go through. So we're a good amount. So we're going
Keep
to
the questions
keep
coming
them
too,
coming.
because we love
Absolutely.
interacting with you. We love seeing you, hearing you on our social media pages. Please join us. Send in your comments. Eventually, we'd like to have you in person too. So we're looking to set up interviews. So that'll be great.
Absolutely. And then part 2, it will be next time.
Yeah, we have lots of questions.
Let's do that.
Thanks for
Right.
listening. So,
Yeah, let's do our affirmations.
daily affirmation.
Don't pick the same color you've been picking.
But I must need to hear this message
Okay.
if I keep picking it. Like
For our listeners out there, we have a vase that has affirmations in it on colored strips of paper.
And for some reason, I keep picking the same one.
You need it, apparently.
Guess I need to hear it. All right. This looks different.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. What do you got, Heather?
What do you got, Lisa?
I have believe you can and you're halfway there. That's true. You got to start in the mind first.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Ryan?
Oh, I am blessed beyond my greatest dreams.
Yes, you are.
That's true.
You are. As your faith is strengthened, you will find that there is no longer the need to have a sense of control, that things will flow as they will, and that you will flow with them to your great delight and benefit. Wow, that's a great message.
You got like a whole book there.
I got like a whole book, but that is a great message.
is a great message.
Absolutely.
Did you get that one before or no?
No, I've never had
Okay.
this one. And you know what? Faith is strengthened when we no longer feel we have to try to steer the journey exactly how we see it. And that's very true. And that's a true lesson happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. I didn't pick the same one, so I must have learned my lesson finally.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Ready to Connect. And we look forward to connecting with you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Ready to Connect. If you're interested in exclusive behind-the-scenes content, be sure to like, share, and follow us on social media by searching for Ready to Connect Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And for those looking to further support our podcast, consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/readytoconnectpodcast. And until next time, get ready to connect.